Hello, seekers of truth. My name is Natalie. I'm here with Mystic Wisdom Tarot and Tea, helping guide you today on intuitive tarot reading. So I'm here with my Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I'm going to help guide you on how to read tarot intuitively and how to read tarot without knowing a single thing about tarot. So you can read tarot without just knowing, memorizing the cards or anything like that. You can just look at a card and read tarot based on your current knowledge about world matters and about symbolism and about your life experiences. What you want to do is you want to look at who the characters are in the card. So in this card you have a man. So maybe who are the men in your life? Are you a man? Is the man on the card representing you? Are you the person hard at work? What is the person doing on the card? You want to pay attention to what is the action on the card? What does it represent? So you can look at the card and you can see the person is hard at work. So if you look at the Eight of Pentacles, you can already gather it represents work and working hard. And you can also gather it's a man, so you can maybe gather that it's the hardworking man in your life. You can also gather that Pentacles in tarot represent gold coins. So gold coins, you already can gather that gold coins represent money. So you can also gather that this talks about money. The color yellow talks about success. You can also gather success off of this card. You want to think about colors. You want to think about shapes. You want to think about patterns. You want to think about symbolism. You want to think about the gender roles on these cards. You want to think about every single thing that you can think of intuitively on these cards. You also want to think about if the card is upright or right side up, because if it's in reverse, sometimes it can reverse the meaning of the card as well. Now, one thing that I do want to say is that if you're a beginner, you don't want to bother yourself with reversals too much because it can amplify the meaning. So what I'm saying is you already have 78 cards that mean a bunch of different things in many different contexts. So if I take 78 cards and then multiply the meanings by like 5 each because of the reversals, then next thing you know, you're trying to learn like 300 different things and you're just overcomplicating it for no reason. So I don't recommend doing that. I recommend not learning reversals until you're already an intermediate or advanced reader. So more things on intuitive reading. You also want to pay attention to the details. So if you get this Wheel of Fortune here, pay attention because it actually spells tarot. So T-A-R-O-T. Tarot, it spells tarot. So maybe if you pull the Wheel of Fortune, it's telling you to rely on your tarot cards for advice. So maybe some more intuitive examples. So Four of Wands, it talks about celebrations, it talks about marriages. If you look at the cards, there's two people, they're holding up their bouquets of flowers. Bouquet of flowers can talk about marriages, flowers talks about proposals. And if you can look at the card, there's stability. Yeah, if you can look at a card, you can gather a lot of information from it. You don't necessarily need to know all of the meanings of the cards memorized. You're going to be a much better reader if you have the cards memorized to an extent. And me personally, having 12 years of experience, I'm a much better reader for it, obviously. But if you're just getting started and you want to dip your toe in the water, you don't need to have all of the knowledge of tarot in the universe in order to get started. You can just have all of the knowledge of your life experiences to get started with tarot. So I encourage you to pick up a deck, go to a store, buy a deck, pick it up, and just get started with the knowledge that you have in your mind and intuitively read. So one of my best tips for intuitively reading is get started, shuffle your deck, quiet your mind, meditate on your questions, and then just look at your cards and tell a story with your cards. So that's that. That's the advice I have for you. Get started, jump on that intuitive reading. Oh, one more thing too, while you're doing intuitive readings as a beginner, I strongly recommend that you use a Rider-Waite Smith deck only exclusively because this deck is very well done for intuitive readings because the imagery is done in such a way that it's really well illustrated to get the point across very well, and it's drawn out so that you can very clearly see what the card means. by just looking at it. Another deck that does a very good job of this also is the Everyday Witch Tarot. A good example of this too is the Five of Wands. If you look at it, you can very clearly see what the card means. It's conflict, it's chaos, obviously. There's chaos and conflict all over this card. You don't need to be a professional tarot reader to know that this card means chaos and conflict. So Everyday Witch Tarot is a great deck. I might review the deck tomorrow, so that's my recommendation to you guys. Thanks, bye.